What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am bringing you guys an update, or kind of the first that I've done this year, talking about all the items in my collection currently that I have pan in. Now, I have done this video once before, and in that video I forgot a lot of items. I'm pretty sure I got them all, but I mean, I'm still bound to have forgotten one or two items. If you're wondering what is on my eyes and my whole look, I have recorded it, so just stay tuned. I will have it linked up in the cards if it's live, and down below if it's live. If not, just wait on it. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing items that I've hit pan in, then just keep watching. Alrighty guys, so to kind of condense this video a little bit, I focused on items that you traditionally can see pan in. So I'm not looking at any liquid products, any liquid products really. I'm only looking at powder products that are pressed, where you can physically see a pan poking out from some form of part of it. A majority of these products are eyeshadows, so I'm gonna leave those to the end and do some of the like non-traditional items that people typically don't really show on these videos. Okay, so the first like kind of category of products that I have to show you guys is eyebrow pomade and powders. I had a weird like situation where I was like striving to hit pan in all of my brow products last year, and I did, and I have expanded or re-hit pan again this year. So the first product that I'm going to show you is my Chrisana and Cosmetics brow pomade in medium brown. Now, depending on the angle, you can see, there you go, now you guys can see I've hit pan in this product now twice. I think it's a good product. I can definitely tell that it's dried out, and thankfully I have an Inglot Duraline now, so I will be putting some Duraline in here when I reach back for this product to kind of revive it a little bit and get through this product. Next I have, oh, and I do enjoy it, and it's a really good shade match for me. Next I have the Brow Gal convertible brow kit, brow kit, whatever, and I hit pan in this first shade. It's a weird pan. It's actually the same color as the actual product, but I hit pan in that one, and I have a pretty deep dent in this one. When I used this kit, I would use this on the majority of my brows, and then this at the very front, just so it wasn't too harsh all over my brows. I think it's a good kit, very pigmented. I did not have to use very much product to get my brows filled in, but I did kind of whiz through this, and I tend to whiz through powder products faster than cream like pomades. The last brow product that I've hit pan in is my Wet n Wild brow kit in ash brown. This is what it looks like. I've hit pan, major pan in this one, and this one I hit very, very small, minute pan. I didn't even realize that I did that. So I have double pan in this palette. Once again, I used the darker, come on, go back to me. Once again, I used the darker color to fill in the outside of my brows, and then the lighter color to kind of blend the front of my brows in. I don't use the wax at all. And this is a really good kit. I would say that I would repurchase this kit. I didn't even purchase this. I got this in like a surprise box or whatever, but I would not repurchase this. I would go for this one because it's the same thing and it's a lot cheaper. Okay, that out of the way. Next, we're gonna go into powders. Now, surprisingly enough, I only have two pressed powders that I've hit pan on. If you know me, I am combination oily, so you would expect that I would have a lot more powders, but I kind of go through periods where I like pressed powders, then I go through periods where I like loose powders. Right now, I'm actually focusing in on a loose powder because I've had it for a really long time and I have not used very much of it. So long story short, I only have two powders that I've hit pan on. This baby has survived two project pans, and this is my Black Radiant finishing powder in, there is no shade, the soft finishing powder. Like I said, this has survived two project pans. As you can see, I have actually had to repress it, and there's major pan. This powder just won't die. Maybe after I finish my Kat Von D contour palette, I'll give this one a whirl again, but this powder just literally won't die. I would definitely recommend this for your money. It will definitely gotten my like $10 or whatever it was for that powder. Next, I have a more expensive powder. It is my Fenty Beauty Universal Invisa Matte powder, and I hit pan in this one as well. This was in last year's project pan, I want to say, and I was so happy when I hit pan. I really do enjoy this powder. I think it's good for blotting, but I also really like it just to set my face. And I would like to get through this product, but I'm not really like rushing to do so. So maybe I'll reach for both of these when I finish my Kat Von D contour palette. We'll see. Next, I want to go into cheek products. Okay. So I have 4 cheek products that I've hit pan on, and I'm actually really excited. I have 1 bronzer, 1 blush, and 2 or 3 highlighters. 2 highlighters. So I'm really excited. Let's get into it. So the first product I want to talk about is a blush from ColourPop, and it is this baby right here. It is the Tulip to Quit powder pressed blush from ColourPop. As you can see, I have pretty decent amount of pan in this baby. This was like a go-to blush for about 3 to 6 months, somewhere in there, and I hit pan. It was just a kind of no fuss, no muss blush. When I didn't really know what I wanted to use for blush, I just reached into this, and then it got to the point where I could see the ring, and then I just wanted to hit pan. So I did, and I'm really happy about it. This is a pretty powdery formula, so it wasn't extremely hard to hit pan, because you do have to kind of build it up, especially on my darker complexion. But yeah, I enjoy it, and it's still in my collection. Next is the bronzer that I hit pan on, and this is my ColourPop Bits and Peaches. What? Wow. Bits and Pieces bronzer, and as you can see, I definitely have hit pan. Okay, I already have a backup, and that's honestly why I stopped using this product, is because I did not want to finish it without having a backup. I think I could easily get through this in a couple of months, like 3 to 6 months. I think I could completely finish this product. This, once again, is a powdery formula, and I love this bronzer. I really do. I'm currently trying to hit pan in a bronzer right now, but once I do, I might reach into this or go for another bronzer. Who knows? But yeah, this is my bronzer that I've hit pan on. Then I have 2 highlighters. The first highlighter ever in my collection is this baby right here. I actually don't even know the name, because let's see if I can get this to clean off. I can. Okay, perfect. So this was my very first highlighter in my collection. This is from the Juvia's Place blush palette, and this baby right here I hit pan on. It was Lila. I was actually trying to hit pan on this as well. I was using it as a bronzer, then I figured I could use this as well. Found out I was obsessed with highlighter, and yeah, as you can see, I'm obsessed. So I got through that baby, and I was just so happy I kind of stopped. This is a really good blush palette. I really enjoy all of these colors. It's impeccable. I don't really use this highlighter. It's lighter than the other one. I think the other one just works a little bit better for my complexion. But I love this blush. Neutral blush. You get a bright pink blush, a bright orange blush, and then a darker blush that I like to use as a bronzer. So I think this is a really complete face palette, and not many face palettes are. And this is one like I can use every color, even though I don't actually use all of them. And then the last cheek product that I have hit pan on is a single highlighter. This is my Indie highlighter palette, and it's this baby up here. It is the Luxie highlighter in Centerfold. Now I will admit that this is yet another powdery formula, and it's like a metallic formula as well, so it started to kind of kick up a lot once I really got through the surface of it. I enjoy Luxie's highlighters immensely. I love this one right here. Not that I hit pan, but we're just going to talk about it for a second. This one in Valley Girl is beautiful. And then another highlighter that I love and I'm close to hitting pan on in this palette is Amara, and that is from Davina. Beautiful, beautiful highlighters from indie brands. I would highly recommend you look into indie brands if you love a really, really beaming highlighter and you don't want to spend too much money like you would from mainstream brands. Okay, all of the rest of the products are eyeshadow palettes. Some I hit pan in organically, others have been in a project pan or actually currently are in a project pan. I will tell you kind of how or why I hit pan in the products as we go. So the first one I want to talk about is this Bombshell Cosmetica Candylicious palette. I hit pan in this shade right here. It is the shade Minty. This was just my favorite shade. This was just my favorite shade in the palette. Not that the other shades aren't pretty, they are, but this was just the one that I truly reached for. And yeah, that's kind of why I hit pan. And it is I would say this is a powdery formula because I reached for honey almost as much, and I just ended up hitting pan in that one. I haven't reached for this in a really long time. I really should reach for this because I did enjoy the formula on that palette compared to all of the other Bombshell palettes that I have purchased. All of the other palettes have been project pans, so I don't normally organically hit pan in products. So the next one is in this Z palette. I depotted all of my melt stacks, and this bottom row on the screen is my rust stack, and I hit pan in 3 of the shadows in my rust stack. So this one, which I want to say is classic, and that is like a classic matte white cream color. Then I hit pan in like the peachy color, which is called Antique, very pretty color. And then lastly I hit pan in Rust, and I used that to go to work, and I would just fluff that in my crease and all over my lid. So those are the 3 colors that I hit pan in my Melt Rust stack. Next I hit pan in my very first pan that palette, and it was my Narcissus palette. I hit pan, like I said, in 3 shadows, and it is this one, and this one. They were all pretty light shadows that I could either set my lid or begin my transition, and that is the main reason why I hit pan on those. And honestly, those were the only colors that I was reaching for when I used this palette. I don't really use this palette. This is extremely neutral for me, but I do keep it in the event that I need a neutral palette. I can go to this. And this is a really good formula, but the pans are extremely hardly pressed, which is why it took me so long to get pan on those 3 shadows, and those are the only 3 shadows that your girl felt like hitting pan on that year. Next, I wanted to get some more use out of my Sugar Pill Pro palette, and so I targeted these 2 shadows, which is Taco and Butter Cupcake. I ended up hitting pan in only Taco. I hope you guys, yeah, you guys can see it's a pretty decent pan. Once again, it's a pretty easy shade to set my lid or just set my whole eyeshadow base in the event that I wanted a really light base. I really do enjoy the Sugar Pill formula, not as much as I did before. I definitely think that there are some other brands that have a matte formula that actually surpass Sugar Pill, but I did enjoy it, and I still do enjoy it for what it is. Okay, next I have my 3 palettes that I'm actually panning this year, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise that I have pan in these babies. The first one I'll talk about is my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I shouldn't be spoiling anything because hopefully I'll get my my updates on these up before I post this. So this is my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. As you can see, I only had 4 shades that I was focusing in on. I finished the top 2 before, and I have pan in this one in the middle as well. What I have been doing with this palette is I have been combining these two shades to set my entire face. This has a pretty nice dip, but I still have not hit pan, and as you can see, I've hit major pan, and I actually had to repress this palette, or this shadow. So this, I guess shadow, yeah, face powder, whatever. So yeah, this is where I'm at right now. At the moment I'm filming this, I might have gotten farther, so that'll be interesting. Next I have my Modern Renaissance, and I am extremely happy to say I have hit pan in 2 of the shadows. So I hit pan in Love Letter and Cypress Umber. Those were the 2 shadows that I had a feeling I would hit pan, if any, this year. I've been wearing this palette more and more to work, and literally I've been fluffing this all in my crease and all over my lid, and just deepening out my outer V with Cypress Umber to get some more use out of this, and hopefully maybe even hit pan before my update for this month. I am gonna aim to do the same thing with Real Gar and Cypress Umber, so we will see how far I can get, and hopefully my project pan update will actually have even more progress than I am showing you guys right now. Last palette and last kind of powder item in my collection that I've hit pan in is my Lorac Pro 2. This was one of my, oh, these are not all, I have more stuff. I have single shadows I've hit pan in. Anyways, this is the last palette. I've completely finished up Buff. I have extended and got a pretty decent amount of pan in light brown. I have a good pan in plum, good pan in navy, good pan in charcoal, and good pan in, what is that, black? Yeah, black. I use charcoal and black to fill in my brows every day, so that is what is currently in my brows right now. Navy and plum I love to fluff in my crease and create a really nice smoky eye. Light brown I have used as a transition color to set right under my brow, and buff, when I had it, I would use to set my concealer. I'm hoping that, like I said, I'll have even more progress by my actual update, and of course I will tell you guys on the screen if I do have more progress, and maybe even I'll be fancy and put pictures of my progress to date. But yeah, thus far I'm getting really close to actually getting my target goals on all of my current project pan palettes. And my epiphany that I just had was that I've actually hit pan in a Makeup Geek eyeshadow. Do I want to look for it? Let me look for it. Give me 1 second. So thankfully it wasn't too hard to find. I've been making these like Cosmage Z palettes, and this was the one that I found it in. And this was another targeted item in a project pan, and I was obsessed with this metallic. So I wanted to see if I could hit pan, and this is Plot Twist from Makeup Geek. And yeah, I think that truly is now the last eyeshadow that I've hit pan in my collection, organically or otherwise. There are some shadows that look like I've hit pan, but I've just dropped them to the high heavens. And like I said, I have foundations and concealers, even mascaras that I've hit pan in, but I wanted to focus in on purely just like traditional panned items. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was fun, kind of going through, seeing how much I do use my collection. I do a fair amount of project pans every year. I get a fair amount of empties, all that jazz. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, y'all, it has been real. Peace.